The Teen Phantom Part 28 in audio. It took your grandfather several years to find you. Grandpa says your parents were great. He will tell you all about them. He even has DNA tests now that he can show you. That is much better than a counterfeit birth certificate. Do you think we should be on our way now, Mom? Yes, we really should. When they get to their gate, Charlotte's mother sits looking ill at ease. Would you put the security code in for me? Sometimes it takes me several tries before I get it to open. My whole being is jumping within it. Would never open for me the way I feel. Charlotte punches the code in and they are on their way. The school is an enormous layout. The auditorium is used as a church sanctuary. There are no colored windows. It is in the building in front and parking is on the two sides and across the back. The four long two-story buildings in the back have a security fence around them that runs all the way back along the back property line. The fence also takes in a large forest that has a lovely trail that loops back through the nicer part. A security gate is center way in the front fence. It has Charlotte's father's special multi-frequency security device. The large building holds the auditorium and rec hall. It is an extended area in front of the rest. It has a special gate that limits entry to one car at a time. You cannot tailgate. It takes a different security code and the guard at the guard station can open it also. Charlotte's mother parks her Mercedes-Benz in the corner that is some distance from the security gate, the one giving access to the buildings in the back. Charlotte has been a little concerned with her mother and what is she going to think about Jane cutting her hair. Charlotte decides to do some research that may ease the shock. Mom, why do you wear your hair braided in a bun on top of your head? I have never been asked a question like that. I have never thought about why I do it. Is just a custom. I suppose I just thought it was according to the scripture to have long hair. The scripture says not to braid your hair, and besides in that way it is not a covering of which the scripture speaks. Your head is less covered than a man with shorter hair is. It is all wound up on top. It only covers the top of your head. Her mother looks to be very concerned or troubled. Doesn't it say not to plait your hair? Yes, but plaiting is braiding. Doesn't the scripture say for a woman not to cut her hair? I am not aware of it. It says it dishonors a husband for his wife to have short hair, and it is a shame for a man to have long hair. But how long is short hair and how short is long hair? Her mother seems upset. Charlotte has upset her with her query. Her mother repeats Charlotte's question several times, then she turns to Charlotte. I just don't know, Sasha, however do you come up with such things? I don't want to be critical, Sasha, everything you say makes sense. I think I understand most of it, but the thoughts you have led me into are very strange and foreign to me. Can you picture the little girl that talked to you having her hair wound up on top of her head? Would that golden hair be a glory to her? She would not be that beautiful little girl without her hair falling around her sweet little face like it does, would she? Her mother is very serious. I can see clearly what you see. It is such a glory unto her, with it around her sweet little face. Charlotte's mother turns to her quickly. She looks shocked. You have seen the little angel then? I did not say that, Mom. I heard what you told me about her. You described her very well. Charlotte's mother looks as if she may not believe her. And you did too, Sasha, but I have no right to push at you. You are a mysterious little girl. You are probably more so than your father is. Charlotte's mother is back with that faraway look again. I really must have a long talk with Ada Jane. I have treated her so wrongly. It gives me a dreadful pain to think about it. For some time I have felt so sorry for her. It is so trying to deal with that long hair of hers. It is so terribly long. If she were short as you, it would probably drag the ground. I will arrange to speak with her as soon as I can. I have always thought it was wrong for a woman to cut her hair. It is truly not a covering the way my hair is. A vehicle pulls in and parks almost in front of the gate that gives access to the four buildings in back. I wonder who that is. It is a strange vehicle. I have never seen one like it before. As they watched, Charlotte's mother makes several other remarks. He is a well-mannered gentleman. The girl seems familiar. I don't know who she is. I could not see her face very well. They are quite a distance away. Do you recognize either of them? The gentleman is Mellow Byron Stewart. The lady is just one of his close friends. He is the one speaking today. Then he is a student. It is getting quite late. I need to find Sarah. She really misses you. She is not the same little girl when she is not with you. When you marry, you should adopt her. Jane has been more of a mother to her. She has always been there for Sarah. I have been so busy with my life. I have spent very little time with Sarah for the last couple of years. It may seem that way to you, but Ada, Jane has been just a nanny. Little Sarah looks to you as her real mother. Charlotte feels the moisture forming in her eyes. She lowers her head, then she opens the door as she speaks. I will see you in church, Mom. Okay, I need to sit here and think for a while. Charlotte finds Sarah in Jane's room. She is cuddled in Jane's arms. Oh Charlotte, Jane said you would be coming for me in a few minutes. Sarah is soon in Charlotte's arms with her penetrating love. Charlotte has settled herself in a recliner facing Jane. It's so neat to adopt Mellow's great-grandfather. As far as he is concerned, we are his great-granddaughters for real. Because of that, it feels real to me. This is confidential. It should be limited. Grandpa is our real great-grandfather. But I thought Dad's parents were killed in the plane crash. I thought Mom was an orphan. In one way, I guess she was. At a little less than a year old, they took her from her parents and sold her to the rich people that raised her. Grandpa did not find her until a few years later. He thought it best not to interfere with her settled life. He secretly influenced her life by her surroundings. Grandpa planned and engineered her marriage to our father. What a fantastic tale. She does have real parents then. Yes and no, I will tell you about that later. Sarah says, that is sad. They were killed, weren't they? Yes, it is sad they were killed. I need to shower and get my good clothes on. Okay, you don't need to hurry, you have plenty of time. Little Sarah leaves with a nice smile. She is very happy. When you get married, do you still plan to adopt Sarah? No way, I discarded the idea long ago. I would very much like to adopt her. I just could not do that to her. I don't understand. You have always been there for her. You are as faithful as a mother. As faithful as a nanny, you mean? You are not aware of some very vital facts. When we had our long talk in my room at home was the first that you hugged me since you were 3 years old. I felt love radiate from you. It was like the sun rays on a cold winter day. I now realize what little Sarah told me. She said your love was different from anyone that has ever hugged her. She said the only way she could explain it, that it was that you loved her with your spirit. At the time I had no understanding of what she spoke, but now I know why your relationship with Sarah is different from anyone else's. Your love is different from anyone else's. You do love with your spirit. You don't just put your arms around someone. So now you know. You should realize you have been taking care of all Sarah's needs. If you couldn't, you let her know that I would do it for you. I have been just a nanny. Even when she was very young, she would come to you for her needs. If you were here, if you were busy with something important, you would tell her that you would have Jane to take care of it for her. I remember all of that. I just never realized what was taking place in her mind. I thought it was just because I had been gone so long and she had missed me so. She missed you, all right. She missed her mother very much. You surely realize all of those little notes and letters of requests of what you would like for me to do with her, while you were on your trips around the world, would leave a very meaningful impression. But those were not my demands. I just asked you if you would, that is all. The notes were the only way I had to communicate with you. All of the letters I sent to you when I was away, I sent in a manner that Mom would not know from whom they came or where. You know, Mom would have been irate if she found you and me talking as if we were friends. If I had come secretly to you, I thought that would just give you problems with Mom. I didn't want to make it any more hectic for you than it was. I am sorry Tyke, you are right, they were not demands, it was just that when Sarah was older she knew about the letters, she begged me to read them to her, she took it in like a sponge drinking in water, I never had to tell her to do anything. She did everything that you asked in your letters with happiness that would bring me to tears. I was very happy for her. I appreciated those letters very much, those words, I love you very much Jane, they kept me going. Sarah has always heard that you and I could not be close, she has known the problem with Mom and me for a long time. There are many experiences I could tell you that would let you know why I could not think of adopting Sarah. You never get to see the other side of her personality. You are never around when all of that is taking place. There was a day that no one could find Sarah and Mom asked her where she had been, and Sarah politely told Mom that she was so sorry but she could not tell her, so Mom says, do you think you could tell me if I give you a real good whipping? Sarah very politely says, you could beat me until the blood run all over the place but I still could not tell you, Grandma, I am so sorry. If you could have seen Mom's face, she was horrified. She stares at Sarah for a while and just says, you are fabricated of the same kind of steel as Sasha. Sarah looked at Mom with the sweetest concerned look and said, thank you, Grandma. Mom with a confused look just turned and walked away. How long has Sarah been calling Mom Grandma? I really don't know, it has been for a long while, it's only when the three of us are alone. One day I was a good distance away, I was thinking about going to see what was going on. There were several big boys in a circle around Sarah. It was as if they were playing a game, but it seemed too tense for play. She jumps and dives as if she is diving into a pond of water. It was right between the boys, Jay and Terry. When she hits the ground she is in a little ball. She rolls a few times and was on her feet before you realized what she was doing. Jay and Terry collided when they went for her. They were so messed up we had to take them to the nurse, and Carl, the older of the boys, ran after her. By the time she got to that maple tree that has the limb stretched out over the playgrounds, she had doubled the distance between them. She runs right up the trunk, she grabs the limb, swings herself upon the limb, she walks it like a tightrope to midway. Then, as Carl approaches, she drops, catching the limb with her hands. She swings her body with one foot in his chest and the other one in his face. She sent him sprawling to the ground. She pulls herself back up on the limb and she runs back to the trunk and scampers up the tree out of sight. One of the kids had gone for Mom as soon as the problem started, I understand. Carl did not move, he looked like he was dead. It was scary, it was as if he was asleep but his eyes were open. I took his arm, helping him up, and turned to walk him back. Their mom was talking to the two that had collided. We took the three to the infirmary and Judy the nurse said she would keep them awake as they may have a concussion. When we got Carl to the nurse he seemed okay, he still did not remember what happened, all he would say is that he must have fainted. She would do anything for you, Tyke, she is your little girl, she always has been. Sarah can hardly wait until her mother gets back from her trips around the world. I realize I will be much more than her nanny in the future. I will be her loving Aunt Jane, that makes me very happy, Tyke. Charlotte lowers her head and closes her eyes without trying to keep the tears back. She visualizes all of the facts and truth about little Sarah. She is unaware of her surroundings until she hears her little girl speak. Oh, Charlotte, what is wrong? Sarah is soon in Charlotte's lap, cuddled up to her. Charlotte only whispers, I am just very happy. Sarah hugs her mother, saying with a whisper, oh, how I love you. Sarah, you will always be my little girl. Little Sarah's arms tighten around Charlotte's neck again with love radiating from her like never before.